Tzu Chi helps with improving the living environment of a grandma and grandson pair. Tzu Chi distributes supplies to the needy living in southern Yangon City. Welcome to DaAi Headlines, I'm Hu Chiao. Thank you for tuning in. In Taiwan, a grandmother takes care of her young grandson who suffers from developmental delay. They both live in a barren factory. The construction team of Tzu Chi planned to build a comfortable living space for the senior, but she rejected the offer. Let's take a look at how the grandmother finally agreed to change things up.
Two or 3 months after my grandson was born, his mother passed away in a car accident. Actually, after he was born, there was no father or mother, and I have been taking care of him since he was born. After her younger brother saw her sister's situation, he lent her this useless factory building for free. The empty factory is very large and has no compartment, but fortunately there is also a bedroom for them.
I'm afraid they will be affected by the typhoon. If a typhoon comes and the house will fall, it will be messy and I will be upset.
In fact, we give her some subsidies every month to help her because she has to take care of this grandson who is suffering from developmental delay and needs treatment. So she cannot go to work normally. Sometimes she picks up recyclables and sells them to supplement her household. I didn't even buy clothes my grandson wore. I recycled all clothes for him. The one I wore were all recycled by me, and I didn't buy new ones. I don't know why I have been at such a rough time. I have to take care of my son and grandson. I don't know what to do. Fortunately, I met Tzu Chi, and it was great to meet Tzu Chi. I thought it was just a refurbishment of a garage. Because she thinks that if you are here in the garage, just help me repair a rain-proof space. I think our construction department really consider it very particularly. It is not just costly saying that if you lack a bathroom, we will help you build a bathroom. If a kitchen is lacking, we will build a kitchen for you. They also consider the follow-up or to use it more convenient.
Because it is in a tin house, we have to cover it with a layer of calcium silicate board, which will be more insulated, and the wall will be more integrated and cooler. When we were going to help the recipients repair the house, in fact, 9.5 of the 10 rooms were all with question marks. Maybe they have met many people before, and they may discriminate against them or speak coldly, or maybe they wanted to help them and didn't do it in the end. They may have encountered many. Until we start construction slowly, after one day, recipients will find that their homes are becoming more and more different. When the construction is completed, they'll find it hard to imagine how our home can become like this.
Yes, it looks good. It makes my life much more convenient. It was inconvenient to have no toilet before. Tzu Chi also used concrete for construction, refurbished electrical wires and water pipes, and also replaced the new faucet and electric water heaters. My mother is very happy. She said that why Tzu Chi is so kind. Yes, I met great people who help me.
Douliu Tzu Chi Hospital hosted a fundraising event the other day and was joined by the 17 students from Yunlin Junior High School soccer team as they were at the hospital to receive their BNT vaccination. Here's more.
Kind-hearted donations accumulate to help in the fight against the pandemic. Douliu Tzu Chi Hospital is holding a donation event to raise funds to purchase more vaccinations for Taiwan, while Yunlin Junior High's soccer team is here to receive their vaccination.
The Pfizer biotech COVID-19 vaccine has been hard to come by. It's all thanks to the kind-hearted donors of Tzu Chi that these vaccines are in our possession. Today, these students are receiving the vaccination, and it's really just a culmination of everyone working together to fight the pandemic.
We often cross counties to compete. Coming into contact with residents of other counties might be dangerous, so we hope to get vaccinated first. The organizers of the competition hope we can be vaccinated before competing.
With their original vaccination schedule changing at the last minute, the hospital also worked to accommodate these students to get vaccinated.
They're very thoughtful and move quite quickly to reschedule us. The students are a little nervous, so we thought by participating in this, they can relax and feel calm.
Each person can donate a little to help, as the vaccine in general is the key to a peaceful and harmonious society.
Tzu Chi Police Association invited current and retired police officers to be farmers for a day at the ecological park of Tzu Chi Neihu Liaison Office. From weeding and planting wormwood to fertilizing the grass, they worked hard to finish the task.
They are not professional farmers, but police officers. Picking up hoes, they started to farm with their crime-fighting eagle eyes and careful mind.
I rarely get up so early on holidays. Today is really a rare experience. Like this one-day farmer's experience. I really didn't have it before.
There was also Zhou Suhua, who is from the 7th Special Police Corps in Jinmen. When she saw that there was a chance to farm in the line group, she especially arranged a day off to join.
I especially arranged this day to come and seize the opportunity to give.
When the police actually arrived at the bamboo shoots field, they realized that mosquitoes and vines are inexhaustible, and the stripped bamboo shoots were hard to come by.
It turned out to be a place where weeds grew everywhere. Now they are all cleared. It looks refreshing.
Removing the weeds and also getting rid of their worries, the clear grassland is just like the police pure heart.
Huang Huijuan, a teacher at Xingyi Elementary School in Pingdong, was having life problems 8 years ago, yet she received a task to promote the a cappella orchestra. She could not understand the concept of a staff, but decided to lead her students to establish Taiwan's first children's vocal orchestra. From a rookie to a professional, she overcame life problems and even received the Teacher's Award.
Three-peat. He won the Children's Vocal Percussion Award for the 3 consecutive years.
When I was in the first grade of elementary school, I was in teacher Huijuan's class, and she recommended me to sing because I love to dance in class. If she didn't recommend me to go, I would be a kid with no interest.
I can't sing correctly and I cannot read the step. When I was in Pingdong 8 or 9 years ago, I didn't understand what a cappella was. I have never understood how to come over the past 8 years. I have no experience at all. The only thing that will support me to keep going is to see the child on the stage, the kind of shining eyes. The only thing that the parents believe that this orchestra can bring children's growth and that this path can be followed.
The teacher is too attentive, really attentive. It seems that our parents cannot just stand by and watch. Agao Kids is a group like a big family. Teacher Hui Jian is a mother, a teacher, and even a coach.
I participate in on-the-job training courses. In the last year of my master's program, my marriage was hurt because of exhaustion, and I raised my children by myself. For a while, I tried to deny myself. In fact, the parents of the students are not clear about my situation because I am also very used to picking myself. I play my role well in my workplace. It is also because of the feedback and support given to me by the students' parents and the eyes of the children's trust in me, allowing me to support myself and believe in myself. Then I stood up again, recognize myself, and find my self-worth. I'm a teacher at Xinyi Elementary School in Pingdong, and I'm currently participating in National Education Department's rural visit program for the 3rd year. Currently, I'm serving at Nampu Elementary School in Miaoli. During the holidays, I came back to Pingdong to assist the children in rehearsals. I have almost no time to rest. I'm very tired, so I often fall asleep when I get in the bus. I hope that my students have a profession. Of course, I also need to expand my horizons so that I can give students a richer perspective, which is really helpful to the children.
In Myanmar, the pandemic continues to be severe. Many factories closed and people became jobless. Since last year, Tzu Chi has continued distributions to help residents. Due to the harsh life of residents, the government in southern Yangon City invited Tzu Chi to distribute supplies for the needy.
A simple hut built with only iron, bamboo, and thatch. This is the home of single mother Mother Yang. Because of the pandemic, life that was not easy has become even more difficult.
I sell side dishes, but during the pandemic, many people have difficulties in their life and cannot afford food. Because there are few job opportunities, the money earned is only 1/3 of the previous one, and no one buys it.
She earns no more than $2 a day at most and has to raise 2 children. They can only live a life without a meal, but this is also the daily life of the residents under the pandemic.
I live in this town, and I also know that during this period, many people had very difficult lives or even had no jobs.
After learning about the residents' difficulties, the local government invites Tzu Chi to distribute food to the families in need. Although it was raining outside, the volunteers allowed each family to receive 24 kilograms of rice and a bottle of cooking oil as quickly as possible. The 2-day distribution helped 6,700 families in need. The pandemic is spreading, but Tzu Chi's love will always accompany the restaurants.
In Indonesia, a traditional herb called betel leaf can be used as medicine and can also be made into snacks. In Makassar village in Tangerang City, the local Farming Women's Association produced betel leaf snacks, earning income to support families.
Betel pepper, or betel leaf, is one of Indonesia's traditional herbs. It has been found that betel leaf is rich in saponin, tannin, eugenol, and various essential oils. It also has antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and skin cooling effects, so this plant can be seen everywhere in Indonesia. In addition to being used as medicine, betel leaf can also be made into a snack. This is attributed to the creativity of the women in the Farming Women's Association in Makassar village of Tangerang City, Batam Province. They host various activities, including improving environmental hygiene and economy, as well as doing food processing. They succeeded in marketing the betel leaf as a specialty of this village.
Awalnya sih belum seperti ini. Terus kita berusaha terus.
At first, it was not as smooth as it is now. We have experienced many failures. Until 2020, it started to stabilize, and the betel leaf village was set up. There is an elder here who can make crispy betel leaves. So we learned from him and set up the betel leaf village.
Bisa bikin keripik sirih. Nah dari situlah kita bikin, kenapa enggak ini dijadiin kampung sirih.
The processed products of betel leaf were welcomed by the community residents, and these women even earned some income during the pandemic prevention period to help their families.
I hope the Farming Women's Association can keep on organizing events to maintain food security and keep on selling our products, including crispy betel leaves and traditional herbs. We also design our own packaging as well.
I am very grateful for this kind of cooperation. Everyone becomes more harmonious and united. We even plan to cooperate with hotel owners, Farming Women's Association, youth organization groups, and street leaders to set up production workshops on betel leaf.
apart from the processed betel leaf products as a local specialty. The Makassari village also has other products such as eggplants, peppers, traditional herbs, and healthy drinks.
At Indonesia, many communities have set up public kitchens to provide hot food for patients quarantined at home. This act alone encourages mutual help between Indonesians, reduces virus transmission, and relieves financial burdens for many low-income families.
In June of this year, the COVID pandemic in Indonesia became severe again. In order to help the people affected by the pandemic, many community residents worked together to set up a public kitchen to provide 3 meals for asymptomatic COVID patients, so that they can be quarantined at home with peace of mind. Over the past few months, it has effectively assisted residents in their lives. The public kitchen in the village of the Yangon City was jointly set up by the COVID pandemic care team, the village chief, the mayor, and the residents in the community. Local patients being quarantined at home can reduce the risk of virus transmission without going out to buy food.
Awal dari berdirinya dapur umum ini adalah panggilan.
Because of caring for each other, we have set up a public kitchen. I'm a local manager. The infection rate is quite high here. There are 10 or more people diagnosed with COVID every night.
Ini sangat signifikan. Dalam hitungan per satu malam itu sudah menyentuh 10 bahkan lebih. Itu saya koordinasikan terus dengan.
Therefore, we worked with the village to set up a public kitchen here to provide 3 meals a day for the COVID patients. This can reduce the risk of virus transmission. This is the reason why we set up a public kitchen.
Menularkan yang terpapar menjadi lebih banyak. Kita berinisiatif langsung mendirikan dapur umum.
From 11 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon every day, local volunteers would distribute hot food to each household. In order to avoid getting infected, volunteers put the food outside the patient's house. People from other laboring groups can also come to collect hot food from the public kitchen.
Alhamdulillah, warga yang isoman.
I'm very grateful as the COVID patients who are in quarantine, especially from the third neighboring group, really feel being helped. They're very grateful to us for helping them alleviate their burden so that they can rest assured.
Untuk tetap fokus dalam penyembuhan, tetap semangat mereka.
Alhamdulillah dari yang terpapar 50.
I'm so grateful that the number of infected residents has been reduced from 58 to 34 now. This is all because of the full support from all parties. Also, the residents who are on quarantine strictly follow the epidemic prevention measures, so the situation has gradually improved.
Diberikan pada dokter-dokter yang datang, jadi sudah agak menurun.
Through the distribution of these nutritious and healthy hot food, it is hoped that the financial burden of the patients being quarantined at home can be relieved. They can rest assured at home to improve their immunity.
In Taiwan, people hope to buy fruits that are sweet, causing farmers following the trend of planting modified sweet fruits. Modified fruits not only affect the original taste of fruits, it also affects people's health. Now through a new planting technology, fruit sweetness can be controlled and monitored, allowing consumers to enjoy the original taste of fruits while staying healthy. Whenever you purchase fruits, do you have the habit of asking the seller if the fruit is sweet? According to the COA, grapes in Taiwan can be as sweet as 21-degree Brix, 16-degree Brix for pineapples, and 18-degree Brix for lychee. But do you know what is degree Brix? Using science to measure sweetness, 21-degree Brix means that within 100 cc of water, 21 grams of sucrose is present. But this level of sugar content not only covers up the fruit's original taste, it also affects our health if consumed. Taiwanese consumers love sweet fruits. So under this mentality of liking sweetness and disliking acidic taste, sweet fruits will sell, and likewise, bitter fruits will be cheaper because no one buys it. Due to this, farmers resort to planting sweet fruits, improving their cultivation methods. In order to please consumers, fruits in Taiwan are modified to taste sweet, but is there any way to revert it?
The first step is to cut the stamen so the pollination will happen. We will then collect the pollen and dip a pin into it and stick it onto a stigma. Afterwards, we will cover it with a bag. Since there are bees around, the last step is to label the date.
有蜜蜂都要套袋，套袋的话要注明日期。
Preventing bees disturbing the pollination process, the bags are labeled as pollination-proof tree types. Researchers will measure the average sugar content of the produced new generation fruits. Traditional improved methods rely on artificial insemination. We pick the good male and female fruits, and through handpicking traits, these traits will be passed on to the next generation. This requires a selective process that includes removing unwanted traits. Now we have a method called molecular markers, and through this method, we can identify if the traits have successfully passed on to the next generation. Grafting is when tissues of plants are joined in order to grow together. This method combines the upper part and the rootstock, and it is most commonly applied to gardening and agricultural businesses, utilizing plant asexual reproduction. If you use seedling plants for planting, it will take more than 5 years for it to blossom or develop fruits, and it will have a lot of spikes, which are hard for farmers to manage. If we utilize grafting, cutting matured twigs, some twigs, which have the potential to blossom and without spikes, will blossom after 2 years. Mass production can then begin in about 3 to 4 years.
经过2年的时间，它就可以开花结果，3-4年以后，它就可以稳定的量产了。
A lot of labels are tied onto each fruit tree. On the labels, it writes and records different sources of pollen and species tied through grafting. After the fruits develop on the tree, farmers will then study the fruits to see if there's anything special.
柑橘有一个明显的特征就是翼叶，翼就是翅膀那个。
Tangerine has an obvious trait, that is the leaf. The leaf is like a wing, and the size of the leaf can be a standard to differentiate each tangerine. Grapefruits have a larger wing leaf, it's obvious. Normal tangerines do not have an obvious wing leaf.
一般的我们说碰柑那一类的话，翼叶就可能没有那么的明显。
After utilizing improved methods, a long wait is required for farmers, yet waiting doesn't always guarantee a result that farmers want to see. After generations of improved methods, a new species may emerge after 10 or 20 years. Studying oranges, Chen Qinan has been utilizing improved methods well over 10 years.
品种改良，其实是需要真的是蛮漫长的过程的。像前辈他
Improved methods is a slow process. It took 20 years for my senior colleagues to develop 2 or 3 species, and it was for farmers to promote and cultivate. The developed new species also attracted many people to visit Tari, which is an accomplishment.
我就想要嘉义农事所，这其实是算是一个成就吧。
Besides improving a species to control its sweetness, what farmers can do to control sweetness is to utilize moisture and sunlight. Sugar spawns from photosynthesis. If there is strong sunlight, there will be better effectiveness of photosynthesis, which will produce more sugar. Another factor is the difference in temperature of day and night. At a low temperature night, it's easy for sugar to accumulate. On a management's perspective, phosphate fertilizers and potassic fertilizer are commonly used by farmers. They will normally use potassic fertilizers to increase the fruit sweetness. As fruit sweetness technology and improvements mature, farmers are finding the golden ratio of bitterness to sweetness, allowing consumers to enjoy the original taste of a fruit. Complying with epidemic prevention measures, Tzu Chi Academy for the Humanities in Toronto continued online classes. Facing the new semester, the principal invited parents on campus to receive course materials. Awards and gifts were also given out as a blessing. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.